Hi, Bruno Jr. here. Our podcast, Busting Addiction and Smiths, is sponsored by SafeHouseRehab.com. SafeHouse believes that traditional treatments fall short of the needs of clients who face the modern problems of addiction. Modern problems need modern solutions. Multiple addictions, multiple relapses, multiple triggers, and cheaper and more powerful street drugs set up unprecedented challenges facing treatment centers. What is needed is a more sophisticated approach, a better way forward. There are 3 reasons to choose our progressive modern treatment program. 1, a more sophisticated intake process. 2, technology proven to enhance recovery. And 3, the most robust aftercare program in our sector. To learn more, visit us at SafeHouseRehab.com.
The next right thing.
Okay, so thanks, Tony. We often say in the program or in AA or NA, you need to do the next right thing. Well, you don't know what it is unless you have a set of standards or values that you live by. So what is the right thing? The right thing typically is a thing that is honest and that is kind. If I build my life around those principles, along with courage and commitment, courage being a big part of it, is sometimes it takes some guts to do the right thing. Sometimes it takes sacrifice to do the right thing. The right thing being, well, I'll give you an example. One is a very practical one. When I was the house coordinator at a recovery at a sober living house in Milwaukee a bunch of years ago, I learned a number of things. I learned the difference between BS and commitment. I learned the difference between having an authentic program and a pretend program. And I learned the difference between making a good decision that was good for my sobriety or not so good. So one evening, it's Friday night, and I had maybe 6 residents with me, and they were all men at the time. We did have women there from time to time. And so they're going, okay, do you want to join us for pizza? I said, I don't know. I don't think so, but go ahead. What are you guys going to do? We're going to go get some pizza together. And it's at the Pizza Barrel, on 82nd Street or whatever. I said, so you guys are going to go? Oh, yeah, we're going to go. I said, well, before you go. Uh-oh, now the room gets quiet. I said, here's a decision that I'm going to help you with. Any decision at this stage of your sobriety is going to be based on, could this decision help my sobriety or might it jeopardize my sobriety? And the reason I say that is, in Milwaukee and in many other places, wherever there is pizza, there's lots of beer. Right? So at the Pizza Barrel, you're going to walk in, and you're going to be waiting for your pizza, right? You order and you wait for it. And the waitress will come around and she'll say, well, what do you have, boys? I've got Pabst Blue Ribbon, I've got Draft, I've got Jacob Leinenkugel, what do you have? So you've now put yourself in a position where you're in a restaurant with people eating pizza and everybody's drinking beer just about except for the kids, because Milwaukee's a beer drinking town. They drink beer there like they drink Coca-Cola. So now you're faced with this decision. What are you going to do? Unless you have a leader at the table, and I don't see one here yet, the odds are that you might have a beer. And then what, right? Then you're relapsing. And once you're in that state, you say, screw it, might as well have another. So you don't want to be putting yourself in that kind of position. There's an old saying, too. It says, if you hang around a barbershop, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. So avoiding those situations that jeopardize your sobriety is really key, at least in the early going. You are not yet fully protected. Today, if you've got 10 or 15 years, you can go wherever you want. But you make good decisions. You don't go to a bar and sit at the bar with near beer and watch a game at the bar. That's just dumb. Will Rogers said that the man who coined the term near beer was a poor judge of distance. That stuff doesn't taste that good anyway. But you're on your way to the next, to your next drink with that kind of decision. On the other hand, instead of going for pizza and beer, why don't you go to Heinemann's restaurant where they don't serve beer, and you can have yourself a nice meal, and you can get a round table for the 6 of you, and you can talk about what's on your minds. How about that? That'll give you, and you can even have a mini meeting if you want. Nothing prevents you from talking about your recovery or about life in general. That's a whole different environment, than than the other one. So the next right thing too is, I'm going to briefly touch on that, which is if your decisions are based on honesty and kindness. In other words, let's say that I have something to say to you that could hurt you, and it might be, let's say, you're too loud. I can do it in a hostile way, or I can do it in a kind way. I'm still telling you the truth. I really enjoy our conversations, especially when we're not loud, okay? When we're not speaking loud. That's one way of treating it. Or if you say, God damn it, you're just too damn loud, that's another way of saying the same thing. And so we make these choices, right? The next right thing is based on kindness and honesty. Those are the fundamentals. Sometimes you need courage too. I remember my counselor telling me, don't ask for, what did she say? I said, oh yeah. She said, I pray for honesty. She said, why don't you pray for the courage to be honest? Because we're sitting on feelings that in the past we were very afraid to share. That's what sharing is all about. To open us up and to share those things that we were afraid to share before, or we were ashamed of. Now in a meeting, there's some things that don't belong. That's why you have a sponsor. You can talk about more intimate things, in a private conversation, as long as you get it off your chest. So, the next right thing also is the next right program thing. For example, we have a saying in AA, when anyone anywhere reaches out their hand for help, I want the hand of AA to be there, and for that I am responsible. That's the next right thing, helping another addict or alcoholic achieve sobriety. Our podcast is sponsored by safehouserehab.com, a modern approach to recovery. To learn more, visit us at safehouserehab.com.